Welcome to At Home with Music. I'm Leon Olguin, or you can call me Mr. O, as some of my young students do. Now, I should mention right at the start, when I say piano, I can also be referring to keyboard, like this one that I'm sitting behind. However, because I started out as a piano player, and I still consider myself an old piano player, I'm always going to use the term piano. So I just thought I'd clear that up right at the beginning. When I say piano, I can also be referring to keyboards. Now, I believe that everyone who considers themselves a musician or a music student should learn piano. When I was in college, every music major, no matter what instrument they played or whether they were a voice major, they were also required to study piano. What was the goal in making all these music majors study piano? Was it so they could become piano virtuosos? Well, no, of course not. But there were several benefits to be gained for them. And there are several benefits to be gained for you by studying the piano. First of all, you will gain several fundamental musical skills. You can easily see what you're doing on the keyboard, and you can see how chords are constructed. You can learn how to pick out melodies easily on the keyboard. You can add harmony to these melodies by using chords. Studying the piano helps you learn about rhythm and dynamics. Learning the piano will help you develop a solid understanding of these fundamental musical elements, which can be applied then to any instrument or to any genre of music. When you study the piano, you'll learn about polyphony and harmony, especially if you're playing classical music. Piano playing often involves handling multiple voices simultaneously, which will help you develop skills in polyphony. And you'll develop skills in harmony, where you're playing melody and you're playing chords. This is crucial for understanding complex musical compositions and musical arrangements. When you study piano, you will gain technical proficiency. As you know, the piano requires the use of both hands and all fingers. Through the judicious use of finger exercises, you'll gain dexterity and finger strength. This technical proficiency can transfer to other instruments and enhance your overall musicianship. I have a video on finger exercises that one can do away from the piano. Very popular video. And one viewer commented that these exercises would also benefit a violin student. They would also benefit a guitar student. And of course, these exercises can also be done on the keyboard. And I'll show you how that works in later videos. Studying the piano helps you with your ear training. The piano's clear and well-defined sound and the ability to produce chords and harmony, well, that allows you to develop your ear training skills very effectively. You will learn to easily play and identify intervals, chords, and chord progressions. And that will help you understand more about how music works. Learning piano also helps you when it comes to reading music. The piano's layout makes it an excellent instrument for learning to read sheet music. The visual representation of notes on the staff corresponds directly to the keys on the piano. And that makes it easier for beginners to grasp music theory and music notation. And speaking of music theory, learning the piano naturally introduces you to music theory concepts like scales, chords, and key signatures. Once again, we're building a valuable foundation for your music education. This will help you understand the structure of music. And once again, these concepts, you can apply them to other instruments. Also, an interesting side note, the majority of great songwriters and great composers used the piano as their primary instrument. Some of the world's greatest composers were also great pianists. Many of the world's greatest songwriters, well, the ones who wrote the music, of course, they used the piano to help them write their music. So just to name a few of these great songwriters, somebody like Elton John, Carole King, George Gershwin, Richard Rodgers, John Lennon, Paul McCartney from the Beatles, even George Harrison used the piano occasionally. Joni Mitchell played piano. Now, yes, there are several famous guitar-playing singer-songwriters, but many of them also played piano. Somebody like Jackson Browne played both instruments, not at the same time, of course. And of course, they wrote songs using the piano. Learning the piano helps you when it comes to solo and ensemble performance. As you know, the piano can be played as a solo instrument or as part of an ensemble, and this flexibility allows you to experience both solo performance and collaboration with other musicians. And once again, this will enhance your overall musical experience. Many of the skills you acquire through piano playing are transferable. Hand-eye coordination, multitasking, disciplining yourself to get down to work, to learning your instrument. These can be applied to other areas of life and learning as well. I want to emphasize that while learning piano offers numerous benefits, it's important to note that the choice of instrument ultimately depends on your interests, your goals, and the musical path that you wish to pursue. You may want to play guitar, and there are certain advantages to learning the guitar as well as the piano. I envy guitarists. I can talk about the advantages that guitar players have in another video. You may have already started learning a brass instrument like the trumpet, or maybe a string instrument like the violin. All great musicians, no matter what instrument they're famous for playing, they know their way around the piano. They may not consider themselves piano virtuosos, but they did start by learning piano, and then they went on to concentrate on their instrument of choice. Also, many of the great orchestra conductors were also pianists. So that's why I'm always talking about the value of studying piano. I believe it's the best place to start in your musical journey. And although you may go on to master another instrument, and that's great if you want to do that, I think that's wonderful. But if you do that, you're never going to regret starting with piano. I wish you well in whatever path you take musically, and I hope that I can be of some help to you. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those in the comment section below. I'll be sure to respond. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like this video because both of those activities help the channel a lot. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.